morning, everybody. Welcome to the Potomac Curling Club for the 2025 Big Cheese Spiel. This is the 11:30 draw. I'm Mindy Carlson, and I will be joined in just a short moment by Alan McNeil. Today we are, baby, he says. Today we are featuring on sheet B, the cracking cheese grommet versus the cheese curls. And that'll be our feature sheet, and our semi-featured sheet, which will be sheet C, is going to be Squeak hard versus Legendairy. And then on sheet A and D, we'll be checking in on those sheets periodically. Sheet A, we have Bill the Goat Cheese versus the Brilliant Sweepers. And on sheet D is Hard Cheeses versus Great Expectations. So, and I'm going to turn it over to Alan, who is one of the head level 3 official for USA Curling. You're not checking. What number do you have? You have 3. Hang on. We had to jiggle some things yesterday. Try it again.
Test, test, test. Hey, that
there
sounds
you go.
like me. Okay. So to answer your question, I am a thing called an apprentice level 3, which means I'm a junior level national official, still in training kind of thing. But they asked me, they send me to go to, like, I was at the Arena National Championships back last fall, and coming up next month, I get to go to beautiful Traverse City, Michigan for the Senior National Championships.
Very glamorous.
That kind of, oh yes. Go to all the awesome places. Bemidji, Traverse City.
Bemidji is quite the vacation destination if you are from the Midwest.
I believe you. All right, so games are just now getting underway, as you can probably see in our beautiful 4 view. Teams are just getting their first stones going, and we will update you on what's going on as events warrant. Okay. That is red.
All right, I switched it to the feature sheet, a B, and then you can see sheet C over on your right-hand side of your screen.
Cracking cheese is yellow, not red.
Cracking cheese is yellow. Okay, great. I will swap them, and then I just need to go and sort of figure out who is what on the other sheets. Okay. So that'll just take me a minute. But Alan can certainly vamp.
Yeah,
while I figure that out.
Of this. The Brilliant Sweepers are red on A.
Okay. And then over on sheet D, Great Expectations is red.
All right.
And then on sheet C, Squeak Hard is red. Excellent, I have that correct.
Cool. All right, so coming back to our feature action here, as you can see, Cracking Cheese throwing their first stone of the game. I think they were going for more of a little corner guard action than what they got in the house, but that's okay. Early in the game, early in the season, fresh ice. So Cheese Curls lead coming up.
Nick Freeling. He is a 2nd or 3rd level curler, and he is also one of our coaches in the junior program.
Excellent.
Both of his kids curl with us in our Middle Rockers.
Marvelous.
So in about 6-7 years, you'll see them out on the ice.
I might see them earlier than that. We have a U18 championship.
We do. But his kids are like 8 and 5.
So,
so it'll be a minute.
Yeah, but probably only a few minutes. At the U18s, when I was officiating at them 2 seasons ago now, there was a 12-year-old kid from Colorado. I do not remember.
Caden Rose.
I believe you. And he was he was fearless.
Yeah.
And B, he had it.
He was good. He's actually, so U18 Nationals is this weekend in Colorado again.
And I'm sure he's in it.
And he is in it.
And I wouldn't surprise me if he's winning it. I don't know.
I have not checked, but I'll say that, so as somebody who watches junior curling pretty closely because my own kids curl pretty competitively, the quality of junior curling has just continued to climb up and up and up and up and up.
Yes.
And that kid who you saw is probably one of the top, it is in the top 10, but he's certainly not one of the top. Like, the top curlers can take an adult any day of the week.
Right. I don't think he's quite there yet, but he will be by the time he's...
Oh, yeah, he's only like 14 this
Yeah.
year. It's incredible.
Yeah, and juniors go all the way up to 21, so I mean, he's got
Yes.
7 years yet.
He's got many, many years,
So-
and he's going to be
Yeah,
absolutely
as long as he
dominant.
keeps wanting it, of course. I mean, that's the question about
Well,
it.
he seems in it, man.
Burnout happens, so. All right, so let's see here. What do we got going on? We have 2 yellow stones in the house, split over on the 2 sides. At least I believe the one over here on our right. I think your left as you're looking at it next to me. And it looks like they're just bringing a 3rd one in. Oh, yeah, it's definitely in now. And JR Grohs.
Calling for the hit.
Yep.
He's got definite weight. Yep, peeled that. Maybe not quite as far as they hoped.
Right, and I think pretty sure that was Ezra.
Yeah, Ezra
Yeah, that was Ezra's
Dantowitz.
son. Yeah. Yep.
And now Bill Engman calling for a draw from, I can't remember. So part of like only curling certain nights of the week means I don't know everybody.
Yeah, that is the problem. Looks like they were going for the takeout, and they might get it. It's coming back nicely. I'm not sure if they got enough on it.
No, I think they accidentally just promoted it.
Yeah,
But
they did.
it's still wide open.
Yeah, it's not a critical problem. Yeah, and actually, it's probably in a range where if they really wanted to and had the right weight behind it, they could go for the double of the 2 processes. It's a
Well,
tough double. But
he's thinking about it.
well,
But and it's also
JR isn't, because it's JR stones that are in there. He's looking to card one of them.
Oh, he's looking to guard. Oh, that's right. Cracking cheese grommet is the yellow. I hadn't switched the color on my data screen, so I was still like
all right,
the last stone.
so Ezra looks like he's being asked to put one in the top 12 in front of the yellow in the 4-foot.
He's sweeping it.
I think
for
it's more line
line
control than anything else. Yeah, I noticed during the game that I played a couple hours ago that the ice, it's great ice. This is not a complaint at all. But once the stone starts to move, it starts to move a ton.
Oh, interesting.
And so
like it dives over at the end.
I don't know if I call it a dive, but the parabola is a lot steeper than I'm used to it.
Interesting.
So if JR, and I'm also sure William for that matter, the other skip, identified that, and it's like, okay, let's be proactive and not have something take off any earlier than we need to.
Right.
All right, Ken Clark, the guru of all things webcasting stone, is on the way. It looks like he's going to peel out that top red, maybe promote it straight out. Yeah, peel it out.
Yep, getting rid of it.
Yep. And
when in doubt, peel the guard.
That's almost never a bad play.
All right. JR calling for another guard. Possibly on the 12-foot.
Probably, yeah, scoring guard kind of thing. Excuse me.
Simon Wechsler with very nice stone.
Yeah, looks smooth. A little light on the handle, maybe, but not enough to be a problem.
I wish they were cleaning it, but
Well,
yep.
now they're honest to get a sweeping it.
Yep,
yeah.
they would like it to bite. I think JR is
even
hoping.
berry even. They've definitely got a bite. I don't.
Oh yeah,
they've
it's
got a
full.
corner berry. Yeah.
Full 12.
And a corner buried behind that center line redstone. Maybe not, but
Yeah, just a touch. I think down at the hack I would be able to see all of it.
there's at least a little. Yeah, there's at least a little protection going on there. All right, it looks like Ken's going after the outside one again. He's hitting one of the 2. I'm not sure which one yet.
Looks like the back one.
Perfect, and he's going to roll and be. Well, not
he
much
didn't quite.
roll. Not
Little,
quite enough.
a little baby, a little tiny bit.
Not quite enough roll. That's all right.
But it's enough for JR to be able to see it and ask for Simon to hit it out.
And assuming that the hammer at the end is correct, JR also has the hammer at this end, so he's He's in what he would consider a good position.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have the hammer this
Yes,
end,
definitely.
for sure.
Just haven't done a quick rock count. All right, Simon's looking like he might be a little wide. Did he get the contact? He did. Did he get enough? Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Picked
but it
out,
didn't
lost
stick
his
around.
Yeah, lost his shooter. I don't know how much that bothers him, really. Because frankly, if the shooter had stuck around, it would have provided material for the cheese curls to possibly freeze to, or otherwise play with.
Yeah, uses some nice backing.
Yeah. So.
Over on sheet C, Squeak Hard is sitting 1 right now and guarding it up.
The middle, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
A tried and true strategy.
Get one, protect one. Actually, Red, they probably have 2 because they got the one in the back 8 there too.
Oh yeah, I guess it is sitting closer than I thought it was.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a different overhead screen. But yeah, it looks like they're sitting 2.
All right, and Bill Engman over here on our feature sheet took out one of the crack and cheese stones. Is actually sitting shot at the moment.
And he's got a nice little biter over there on the edge.
That is true. However, JR has the hammer and an open hit on that first one. This is his first
Do you
stone,
think
correct? Yes.
is the double there? Just to
It
do
doesn't
like
need
a
to
nice little roll over?
It doesn't need to be, because frankly, if he chips the red stone on the inside and rolls over towards the center line, there's no way that stone out there on the edge of 12 is ever going to matter.
Okay. I've learned to be a little like wary of biters.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't pay attention to them, they don't really matter.
And then all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, they're another point.
Yeah. All right, so all the games here are moving their way through towards the end of the first end. We will get you some scores as soon as we have them.
We also are watching the chat today, so if anybody has any questions or comments.
JR flashes. That is a problem. That is completely changing the direction of the end because Bill has a fairly open chance to take out JR's other yellow.
I'm going to give an all houses view while they, Ken and Bill discuss what they're going to do.
That's a fine plan. So.
Ooh, sheet D. Great expectations sitting 4 right now.
Wow.
And in a very good position because I think that, yeah, they have the hammer. Great expectations has the hammer.
Are they
for that.
throwing that now or is this yellow?
No. Katie's throwing her first skip stone for hard cheeses.
Okay. All right, so Bill is doing something that's a little, I'm not sure I agree with him on this.
Is he drawing in behind?
Yes. Whereas I'd take out JR's yellow, and that's a solid force at that point. By drawing in, it's a more aggressive play. He could potentially steal 2 if he does this perfectly. But if he does this wrong, he opens it up to JR to reclaim a 2.
Well, I do like shenanigans, so this feels very shenanigan-esque.
Draw weight is, he's a little heavy on the draw, but he's going to brush
tap.
off his, though. Yep, so that's fine.
He's not really he's not guarded
He's not
at
buried
all.
at all. So JR's got a couple choices here. And Simon, because Simon has never seen a double, he didn't want somebody to try. Love Simon to death, but that is what the man does.
I mean, it is one reason why I like him.
I believe
we have similar philosophy.
Based on the broom action that I saw them when they were discussing it in the house, I think he's convinced JR to go for it.
I think he did. I think he convinced him.
Which, if he makes it, he gets 2. If he misses it, he could potentially give up 2. So, high risk, high reward kind of thing. But it is the first end of a second round game in a internal club bond spiel.
Right. If you're not going to take the risky shot now, when are you going to take it?
Exactly. And yeah, with that handle, that is definitely what he's doing, and that speed, no question. All right, stone's on its way. The sweepers are pacing it.
Oh, yep, sweeping on for line.
Nope, it's not going to happen. He is outside of the top one. He has given Bill Engman
1 point.
Yep, so the cheese curls take 1 after 1. And none of our other ends have finished yet. So, jam over on D. That great expectations. Just jammed a hard cheese stone in, so that changes the complexion of that end dramatically.
All right, I'm going to do all houses again.
The complexion of that end over on D has changed
Yeah,
a lot.
dramatically. Yeah, now hard cheeses is sitting one.
And they're about to throw their last, so they could put a good defense on that and at least force the force.
Yep.
All right. Legendairy, I think, was trying to do something creative, blowing all the stuff up.
I think that was Squeak
Was
hard.
that Squeak? I thought I saw the
Oh, no,
yellow
that was Legendairy. Yes, you're right.
All right, so Squeak Hard is getting ready to throw their last. Legendairy has the hammer. Right now, Squeak Hard is sitting 3.
Yep.
And it's a fairly well-guarded 3, if I say so
Yep.
myself.
Well, and they don't have hammer. Legendairy has hammer.
Right, but actually at the moment, I'm not 100% sure how Legendairy gets in there to even to accept the force.
So do you throw, I mean,
If I'm Squeak Hard?
if you're Squeak hard, do you just throw up another guard to like clog up the works?
So the primary thing that I'm concerned about is, so as we're looking at it, there's a path drawing from the right to the left between the red and the yellow guards up to the right of the center line.
Right.
That would curl in, and you could get to the 4 foot. Probably not shot, but you could probably at least get to be second stone. I feel like I would clog that up, and based on the broom placement that I see at the far end, I'm 92% sure that's what they're doing.
Yeah. We're on sheet A. Looks like Brilliant Sweepers is sitting 2 currently. And Bill the Goat Cheese is just about to throw the hammer. So we're on A. The hammer's coming down.
And Tanya Mulvey, the Squeak Hard skip, did in fact put the guard.
That's
you
brilliant.
You could put it in a better place, but you'd have to walk it down there and place it by hand, and it would really only be about 1 more inch towards the center line.
Yeah.
So
a very nice takeout for Bill the Goat Cheese, taking out one of Brilliant Sweepers and setting red to 1 point, cutting them down.
So Brilliant Sweepers got 1 and only 1, I guess. They're still looking like
They're still looking like, but there's no. I don't know what they're
I don't feel
doing.
like there's any controversy. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, they're taking an awfully long
Looks
look at
pretty
that.
clear to me. What do I know?
Right?
All right. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even a measure in the house.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
All right. Legendary skip Brian Dauernheim, who has won the big spiel before.
Yes, he has. And the short spiel.
And the short spiel, and many other things for that matter. He's one of our better curlers.
And he's one of our junior coaches.
Is trying to figure out, okay, what the heck am I going to do here? What the heck is he going to do here?
So I missed what happened on sheet D, but given who the vices are, I'm going to assume that's, 1 for yellow. Okay. So hard cheeses scored 1 at the end, which was
to swipe victory from the jaws of defeat on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not at all certain what Brian's got going here.
I don't know either. And so the game he played last night, there was a lot of turning around, looking at us, and shrugging. So I think he's experimenting with some strategy.
I know that
a
feeling.
Little fast
so
and loose.
It's all good. But raising that red does not make a great deal of sense to me. So I don't think that's what he's doing.
You know what though? I think that is actually what he's doing. I think he's going to tap it back.
But why? If the other team's stone, it would give red a 4th point. I don't see how that.
Well, maybe the broom is there, and he's actually going for the yellow next to it, and he just because look, it's coming right down. It's going to hit that yellow.
Okay, actually, it's going to tap that.
Oh, just not enough weight.
Yeah, so
3 for
red.
Squeak Hard.
Squeak Hard takes 3, goes up 3-0. All right. That is the end of the first end.
Yes, Squeak Hard, which has nothing to do with mice, but all to do with how hard your cheese curd is.
I choose to believe you.
Well, so in Wisconsin, they famous for cheese curds.
Sure.
And the cheese curds, you can get soft cheese curds or you can get hard cheese curds. And the hard ones are really delicious, and when you bite down on them, they do a little squeak on your teeth.
Okay. Look at that. Club curling and education. Oh,
that's correct. Well, I mean, were you prepared for this much culture?
I was not. Okay, we're gonna continue milking this gag.
We do.
Okay.
We're gonna milk it all night.
Okay. All right, over here in Featureland, we are working on seconds stones. And currently, Red Cheese Curls has one action going in the house. They also have a guard and one sitting down there in Never Neverland.
Yep, and that's going to sit nicely against
nice
that red.
Yep, kicks it out. That's fine.
I would have preferred if that red had stayed there.
And pretty sure JR would have preferred it also, but
I know, beggars can't be choosers. All right, Bill calling in for a draw from Ken Clark. First Vices stone for this end.
I think he's asking to sit on the one that JR just had delivered, and this is going to be close.
I mean,
to a freeze. It's going to be
excellent.
Little tappy. I don't know that they needed those last couple brush strokes, but
I don't know. Sometimes better safe than sorry.
Sure.
And again, it knocked out the Yellowstone, which is, we would prefer that it hung around, but
not the end of the
looks like JR is calling for Simon to follow that path again. Simon, who I think would win most sparing hours award.
Yeah. Is he? I think he lives here. I think he's got a cot set up in the back room.
I think so. Oh, and he didn't quite follow the path all the way, sitting T-line.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's behind the top guard, mostly at least.
And Bill would like somebody to sit on top of that.
Yeah, so. And Ken definitely has the shot at his arsenal, so we'll see what happens here. The Cheese Curls have done a wonderful job with the graphics on their team T-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Well played.
Those showed up yesterday right before their game.
Timing is everything in this business.
Timing is everything.
You can tell all of the teams in this spent some time working on their names.
Oh, yeah. They're
some legendary names, as opposed to Legendairy, which is one of the teams.
Legendairy. What is your favorite team name beside your own Mac and the Cheeses?
I mean, I'm not really a huge fan. I actually, when I passed my team, I was like, okay, so the first thing that comes to mind is the obvious name pun. If anybody's got a better idea, please.
Right.
And my team was like, no, that's good. Let's do that. Okay. But so all of them, I have a list in front of me. So, I mean, pasteurized processed curling team product is solid. That is solid. That was well crafted.
That was Craig Marquardt came up with that name.
Yes.
And again, though, he suggested it and said, "But I'm open to suggestions," and everybody went, "Yeah, no, that sounds great."
That's pretty good. That was well crafted.
Haha, crafted.
I know, right? Yeah, actually, taking a look, that's probably my favorite.
I do love Legendairy.
Legendairy is also is solid.
As a fan of How I Met Your Mother,
sure,
it is appealing to me.
Yes. Speaking of whom, they have a stone coming down right now, and Brian Dauernheim's looking for a
little soft takeout.
Did not get the job done. It didn't quite make enough contact on either stone to do anything, really.
Oh, and it's not really going to stick around. It's just going to be a tripping hazard in the back.
Unfortunately, that stone did not accomplish the goals. It happens.
Yeah.
All right, we got some English, it's my first language, really. Skip stone action coming from Bill Engman. He wants to freeze on that yellow just behind the tee, and guess what he just did? He froze on the...
Yeah, just about 3 inches of separation there.
And behind the guard also, so that's that's going to be tough to chip out, even though there is an air gap, so there can.
I don't know. I mean,
it's mathematically possible. It's probably not realistically possible. It doesn't actually look like that's what JR is going for. With that kind of line, the most he's doing is sitting on it.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do. Like bump up against it, sort of at an angle.
Yeah, because then his stone would be straddling the tee line, and if Bill threw another one at it, his would be in front of the tee, and probably would still. Then we get into conversational geometry, which is not my strong suit. So.
Rob Young and I last night got into a whole conversation about hexagons after we were off the air.
Hexagons are bestagons.
They're the bestagons.
Okay, so over on sheet A, we have a meeting of red stones in the 4-foot. And we're going to go see what the Navy's going to do about that.
So did you know that, so their name is Bill the Goat Cheese, and they named themselves Bill the Goat Cheese because the Navy Naval Academy mascot is Bill the Goat.
Yes, I did.
Which I thought was really cute.
And what they chose to do about it is tap a high, hard one in, but they only picked out one. Wow. Actually, that probably wasn't what they had in mind, but that was a neat trick, just getting one of those out of there.
Yeah, let me show the houses so that everybody can see what we're talking about on sheet A. Allison is sort of standing over one of the, you can see 3 red rocks, completely unguarded. And just before that last stone, there was a 4th red stone in the middle of that triangle, basically. So, So a valiant attempt.
So Bill the Goat Cheese has some work to do to extract himself from this situation.
Right, and there is a 4th redstone coming down that is being escorted by the sweepers.
Feels a little fast, in my opinion.
Sheet A and Sheet B parading down together.
But it's going to do some rubby bouncy. So, yeah.
Wow. Lovely shot by, I think, Camille Schlanger through that one. Let me go back to the hack for JR's hammer shot.
This is the hammer. Hammer time. And he's got one. They've currently got shot, I think. Oh, yeah, they've definitely got shot. So basically what they're trying to do is they're just trying to draw good enough to get a second one, and they've got the backing just to the left of the center line. So he likes his odds.
Yeah. Well, and JR, has thrown the shot many a time.
Exactly.
And he's playing with his daughter, Corinne, today.
Yes.
Who is an excellent lead and loves playing lead.
This looks like it's on track. Oh, it actually might have a small danger of over-curling and going through the hole. Nope, it had a late enough rate for 2. Okay, so JR successfully draws for 2. Do not get the box because that's not touching the 4-foot.
I was going to say that was Simon's yell of no. It's not that he was disappointed. It was that he doesn't get the box.
No box for you.
No box. So that was 2 yellow.
Yes. Bringing that score to 2-1 after 2.
All right, I'm going to go to all the sheets again while I look around. I poke my head up to see if anybody has posted any scores.
I think everybody else is still throwing too, so not like.
Yeah. Katie's over on sheet D. Katie is throwing her first skip stone against Great Expectations.
And right now, the Breland Sweepers on A are also throwing their first skip stone, rather.
And over on sheet C, it looks like Brian would very much like his vice to freeze up against the red that is in the 8-foot. And if he plays as well as he was playing yesterday, that will be no problem for him.
Well, the stone is on the way. The sweepers were kind of being disdainful about it for a moment, but now they're sweeping on it. They're bringing it in. It's going to rub off the outer yellow one, I think. But that's kind of made a hash of it.
Yeah, it's kind of open for a takeout now by Tanya.
And and a takeout and roll apparently is what it looked like she was
I'd roll
talking to Kristy
undercover.
Bellefontaine about. Yeah, because
this is Tanya's first skip stone.
They do not have the hammer.
They do not have the hammer. Let's see. Bill the Goat Cheese, second skip stone, about to come down the ice. And he is calling for looks like a triple.
Maybe a quadruple. Who knows?
Maybe a quadruple. We'll see.
Actually, probably what he's trying to do is he's probably trying to top those two and roll into those other two, try to get some coverage behind them or in with them. He's going to get the 2 hits, but he's going to bounce off the outside.
Not quite. It needed to curl in just a little bit more.
He's going to face himself with a tough hammer.
Yeah. Yep.
I believe in the business we refer to that as a tough hammer.
Oh, in the business, is that what we do? Okay.
Yes.
As a professional umpire?
Sure. Actually, as a professional umpire, we sit there and we don't say anything. We just kind of stare at it. But that's because that's what we do.
I think it is very cool that you go around and officiate and umpire at different places. I know, especially, and you do for, the adults, and you also do for juniors. And I know that when my kids go and they see you sitting there as the umpire, they feel a lot better.
So that is actually one of the nice things about it, especially with the 2 events I like doing the most. I like doing juniors, and I also prefer. We have an under 5 national championship, which is a little weird.
Yeah,
but
it's fun.
It's fun. It's a gateway drug.
It's a gateway drug. Yes, it is.
It's designed to find the people who they found curling as adults because that happens.
Yeah,
but who want to take it maybe a little too seriously.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to come into the game as an adult anymore and develop into a national champion material kind of thing.
Right.
But you can come in, and there's a whole other pathway of things called club nationals, which is designed. The teams have to be formed from within one curling club and all this kind of thing. And you can still very much come into that as an adult and play that, and there's starting to be some momentum towards that possibly developing into some sort of international thing.
Really?
Down the road, yeah. So what they did this year as a one-off, it was a test, and the sponsor was willing to say they'll do it more if it was good. But
nice. Okay.
They had our club champions played the club champions from Canada.
Oh, yes.
On a televised game on NBC Sports Network.
Right, and that was in Denver, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back in the very beginning of the season, back in late September, early October.
Yeah, late September, early October, yeah.
And that was actually apparently very well received. The curlers loved it. Some of the critics were like, "This wasn't great curling," and everybody's response was like, "Okay, can we explain something for a minute?"
Right.
These are not our Olympic teams.
Right.
These are our club curlers, probably for the first time ever exposed to curling in front of cameras on professional
True amateurs.
ice. Yeah.
True amateurs.
Yeah, exactly. They got their uniforms. There was no money.
Yeah, that's right. They paid out of pocket for those uniforms.
Well, no. The foundations.
Oh, the
gave them
foundations
the
did? Oh, that's lovely. Oh, and a flash over on sheet A.
Yeah, so they gave up 3.
3.
Yeah.
Not as bad.
And there was a nice little trophy, but
oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
I do love a good trophy.
But it's started some. The folks who knew what was being aimed for with that event were very well pleased by it, and so it might turn into something. We'll see.
I hope so, because I feel when you I know very many people who, like you said, found curling later in life,
right,
and loved it. And it was for whatever reason they had never curled before. They grew up in Hawaii, they grew up in Colombia. It's like ice is not a thing.
They just were never exposed to the sport. Yeah.
Right. And so, and they're out here and they're putting in the time and the effort and the practice, and they have a zeal for it. And I love the fact that they get to be able to
There's an
curl
outlet.
in a tournament that matters and not
Right.
just is a regular bonspiel where you're going up against people that whose
They already
primary
know.
reason for being there is to drink.
Yeah.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But sometimes you want to play a different level of competition, and just to see if you how you stack up.
Yeah, so I mean, the USA Curling's rationale, for lack of a better term, behind all the championships is if you want to measure yourself against other curlers, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You know.
And
so-
we're hosting GNCC championships here at the end of the month
Yes, we are.
for men and women's.
Yep. So.
But the youth one is going to be up in Norfolk, Connecticut.
Yes. Actually, I think it already happened, didn't it? Wasn't it?
No.
Christmas break?
It's the same week
Oh.
as Club National or as GNCC Nationals.
Oh.
The same week. So Henrik may go up there
Okay.
and participate, but
Cool.
we don't know
Good luck.
yet if we want to.
Good luck to him if he chooses to do that.
Yeah, he's got a good team this year. It's one of those teams that they're from all over, so it makes practice a little difficult. But,
Yeah.
but it is fun.
That's good. All right, so we have finished the third end on sheet C. I didn't actually, they started kicking stones before I could find out exactly what happened.
Oh yeah, I didn't see.
A yellow stone is being put in the hack.
So red clearly scored. Let me see if I can get Kristy's attention, and we'll see.
Or it could have been a blank because, I mean, red scored the first
No, because they were kicking stones out of the house.
Oh, okay.
All right, Kristy says one
One red.
red.
Okay, so that brings that score to 4-0. No, it would be one yellow because yellow just threw the first stone.
Oh, did they? I thought red was in the hack.
No, yellow.
My mistake.
Nope.
Let me fix that.
Oh my God, you're human.
How dare I?
It's somebody doing some equipment repair over here behind sheet
Did the hack
C.
pop off?
Not
All
sure
right.
what's going on.
Something. Well, Ted's out there. I didn't catch what
I
happened.
saw a towel, like there was some water involved. Oh, there was
Oh,
a
did
water
somebody
pitcher
spill?
Water pitcher failure. Yeah.
Oh no. Kale.
So we have water
Well,
pitchers out
Ted
there
is a
on the
good ice person and mostly the catwalk. Oh, okay. So water only spilled on the catwalk, and if there was any on the ice, it was very quickly mopped up. All right, but Simon is now
Okay, yeah, it
throwing.
looks like there's a problem with the pitcher, I think, from what I see. I honestly, actually, who is that person?
Oh, Zach Blau.
Oh, that's Zach? Okay. I've heard
He's
that.
he used to curl up at Rochester Institute for Technology
Okay.
in college, and he and Henrik went on a team on the men's team last season together. He's a very fine curler.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like they're just worried. They're just cleaning up the catwalk, which that catwalk has been so abused over the past 30 years.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
yeah. I mean, it really needs some rehab anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice little barn. We're glad we've had it. We've had it for 25 years now, I think. Actually, I think
At
it's-
least.
I think it opened in 2000. So
Yeah, 24, 25 years.
yeah.
So towels out there, everything getting wiped down. The
Okay.
organizer's on it immediately.
Yep. Ken's doing some work on his gripper because I think he got some water on that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go on the ice with wet feet.
Meanwhile, all the action continues apace. They have not hung a second end score on sheet A, but they are throwing third end stones. Same on D.
Yeah, sheet A, we know that Brilliant Sweeper scored 3 in the
that's
last
right.
end.
We do know that. We saw that.
And then sheet C finally hung the one for the cheese, for the some cheese legendary, some cheese name.
That narrows it down.
I know. Well, I couldn't the processed cheese, the processed curling team product. I can never remember the full thing, so it the name got longer
I mean,
and
it's
longer.
right there on the screen.
Well, but it only says like processed cheese, like. So it's like partially hydrogenated processed curling team product.
Pasteurized processed curling.
Pasteurized. Okay. I keep forgetting the pasteurized. Sweep, 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 sweep.
Sweep, sweep, sweep.
Very nice.
Tap, 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 tap. Couple
Tappity
yellows.
tappities.
Couple yellows.
I like that very much.
Especially since there's a pretty decent phalanx of stones up front guarding the one in the center line. The one on the outside is exposed.
It's exposed, and you can do a nice little bump and roll.
Yep, tap little tappy rolly. Which
I wouldn't want to hit it out because I want it there as backing still.
I don't care if I lose it, if I feel like that's necessary to get the shooter to roll to where I need it to be.
Sure.
You know. Which, yeah. So still, each team has one more stone after this.
Giving everybody a little view of sheet A. You can kind of see the stones and Navy, and again, Navy wearing shorts out there like he was last night. And it is 30 degrees on that ice today.
If it's 30 degrees, I'm amazed. If it's 25, I believe more.
It is cold.
Chill.
It is cold enough that I know several people out there bought heated vests. They are wearing heated vests today.
I didn't go with a heated vest, but I did buy a hoodie. Oh, I need to pay for that.
Oh yeah. Oh well, we'll settle up
Deal with
later.
that after the game.
Yep. Yeah, I was like, if you needed a hoodie,
Yeah.
like, that is cold because you're pretty stoic against, like, you're used to curling ice temperatures.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't phase you.
Yeah, I have a gig where I have to sit on ice for 3 hours, not moving.
Right.
Unless I have to move.
Right. And I know that oftentimes officials wear black.
Yes, that is our uniform.
So that is your uniform. So the black jackets, are they like a special insulated?
Oh yeah.
Or
so United States Curling has a wonderful sponsorship deal, and look, I'm going to do my job and plug there, with Columbia Sportswear.
Ooh, okay.
I don't think we actually get any cash, but boy, do we get jackets.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
And the coats that the officials were given, and we didn't have to buy them. It was very nice of them.
Oh.
It has the embroidered USCA logo and stuff on them. They're
cool.
basically, you could wear those coats on an Everest expedition and be perfectly fine.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? You're swaying me into becoming an official,
I know,
Alan,
right?
just because of the merch.
It's solid merch. But they have this. It has this heat reflective gold. I'm putting that in air quotes. It's not actually gold.
Right.
But it's that color. That it takes your body heat, and reflects it back in at you. You can actually sweat in that if you're in an environment where the ice shed is a little too warm. Yeah, like actually at U.S. Nationals this past February, which we were holding in a shopping mall.
Oh yeah.
It's a little weird, but that's okay. It worked out.
Yeah.
But because of the nature of the environment, the actual air in where the skating rink was probably 45, 48 degrees.
Oh, so warm.
So very warm. Those coats were too warm for that gig. A lot of us actually put those coats aside. We've all got our own individual, pullover kind of things. And, fortunately they're like, okay, is it black? Okay, stick a USA Curling logo on it, you're fine.
It'll be fine. Sheet D hasn't hung a score yet, but it looks like red has scored over there in the last end. So I'm going to give them temporarily 1 so that I can get the proper house.
Okay. Eventually they will hang it.
Eventually they'll hang it. I'll correct the score. So I know we're hosting GNCC championships here, and I know that we were looking for volunteers.
We still are.
So I know that one of the things that I was interested in possibly volunteering for was being a timer.
Okay.
And I was curious, like, what goes into being a timer?
Sure.
What am I responsible for? How
Sure.
hard is it? All of that sort of stuff.
So ironically, it's probably the hardest officiating job, and we give it to the newest people, which is a little weird, but that's okay. But basically, what your responsibility is we have it's kind of a chess clock-like system.
Okay.
Each team is given a bank of time that is theirs to do with as they will. And the timer's job is to, following, there's specific rules and procedures and stuff as to when to start the clock and when to stop the clock and all that kind of thing, but is to make sure that the time is correctly kept.
Okay.
Because the penalty for running out of time is draconian. You lose.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yep, you could be up 10-1. If your clock expires, you have lost the game.
Yep, because you did not play within the time.
Because you did not play within the time. So, we've got some pretty solid technology behind it now. They've been working on programs, computer programs and stuff to do this for quite a bit, but it's still a very human. You got to look at it. You got to see when the stone gets moved and all that sort of thing. So we will be doing an informal training class on, if anybody else out there is interested, on Monday the 27th.
Okay.
At approximately 5 p.m. It's going to be part of our normal Monday developmental.
Okay, and that is
program.
the Monday right before GNCC
It is.
Championships takes place.
GNCC Championships start on my birthday, Thursday the 30th.
Oh my gosh! Well, happy future birthday.
I expect cake.
I will bring cake.
I can't actually eat cake, but that's okay.
I can't actually eat cake. I will bring a picture of a cake.
But this is not the national. In order to get certified, blah 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 blah, you have to go through an official class.
Sure.
This cannot.
But you don't need to be certified to be a timer.
You do not need to be certified to time for this. This is.
But does it count towards your certification hours, perhaps?
So if you have already started the program,
okay,
it can count as a draw.
Oh, interesting.
You have to work a number. You have to work 6 draws to get certified.
Okay.
So it can work. Each game counts as a draw, basically.
Oh, okay.
If you have not yet started the program, it kind of depends on a number of things.
Okay.
The entry-level program is a little in flux at the moment. They're working some changes.
Okay, interesting.
But
if somebody were to sign up like now, could that particular draw time would count for them, or is it a class cohort situation?
So let me put it this way. Anybody who I'm one of the head of umpires for it, myself and Michael Dobbs, and I'm going to make sure that anybody who wants to, that we put these games in the logs.
Okay.
If USA Curling chooses to say that they don't count towards certification, because once upon a time they said you had to have your class first, which makes sense. You should know the rules before you do it, right? But
what?
I know, right?
Ridiculous.
But because they haven't been able to offer the class as often as they wanted to in the last several years, because COVID recovery and all that kind of thing, they've been a little softer on that.
Oh, okay.
And to a certain degree, it also comes down to if one of the senior official types goes, Bo Durr is a really good timer.
Yeah.
They'll give him a little slack on that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. All right.
And it's not like a hard and fast. You have to have six and you're automatically certified. And if you have 7 before you send in your certifications, you're losing. So you can do as many games as you want, right?
Okay.
So you have to do at least 6.
Oh, I'm sure USA Curling would love it if you would do as many games as you wanted to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice little takeout by Bill the Goat. They wanted to take out that stone that was just sitting right behind the 4-foot.
But they still, unfortunately,
gave up one. But they were sitting. They had the chance for 3.
So this is the Navy. Bill the Goat's the team from the United States Naval Academy. This is only their 2nd season, right? For the most part.
Yeah, this is, well, I can't remember if Jamie or if can't remember if Jimmy was here for 2 seasons or 1 season, and then he retired.
I do not recall.
Yeah, I don't recall either. So this is either their 2nd or their 3rd season.
Right.
And they're doing really, really well. They go to college tournaments all the time, and they've done well at those college tournaments. And you can follow them on Instagram at USA Navy Curling.
Excellent.
and see their great pictures. And they made U.S. Navy curling T-shirts or sweatshirts, and you could order them and buy them. And you'll see a couple people out on the ice with those sweatshirts on.
I believe the skip actually.
The skip is actually wearing one. I know Giselle, who's over on Sheet C, had bought one, and she was wearing it yesterday. I know that my husband bought one and wears it at various times because he was curling on Fridays with a couple of the Navy gentlemen, lady and gentleman, with Bo Durr.
That's very good. The college curling program is also a lot of fun on the national level. All of those spiels and stuff that they go to, teams accumulate points. There's a national championship at the end of the year for that. I don't know if Navy's going to be able to make that this year. But
right. Sorry, guys, I had to change the score.
It has gone from 4 or 5 years ago it was kind of a who wants to go to Boston and play in a national championship.
Right.
And now it's
becoming a thing.
It's a severely competed event. It's heavily competed.
Yeah, heavily competed.
Which is great.
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful.
And it's
I love that. So especially since when you have like juniors, 18 they generally go off to college.
Right.
And they move away from their home club.
Sure.
So their curling career generally ends then when they're 18.
Yeah, unless they get lucky.
Unless they get lucky, or they, like for us, we're very close to the University of Maryland. You can go to college at University of Maryland and still curl here in the junior program.
Sure.
So I love the idea that the college program is becoming a thing, and that people who have done super competitive curling and gone to U18 nationals, U21 nationals, could still go and participate.
Yeah, they don't have to
in a competitive program.
Yeah, they don't have to make the choice between, okay, am I going to continue to pursue competitive curling or am I going to go to college?
Right.
Because for a while, them's was choices.
Right. Yeah, you can take a couple of years off and continue to curl competitively and work, or you could go to college.
Yeah. Unless I guess you can go to college like Minnesota or something.
Yeah, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and those Midwestern areas, you could still find curling. University of Maine.
Yes.
Had curling. But yeah, in general, it was hard to find a program.
North Dakota State, strangely.
Yes, North Dakota State.
The year that I officiated at the College National Championships up at Bloomstones up in Boston, North Dakota State came and they rampaged.
Really? Oh, that's great for them. Oh, beautiful double.
Yeah, it was nice. They went through and they had to win 6 games to win the title, if I recall correctly. Yeah, 6 games, and they won all 6, and I don't recall any of them being particularly close.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that is domination.
Yeah. And they brought a team of 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. A team of 12.
Yes.
So, and most teams are 4, maybe
or 5. Right. Yeah. So college curling had a thing for a while. They were trying to grow the program, right? That you could bring as many athletes as you wanted, and rotate them through games and stuff. Because encourage participation and stuff.
Sure. Absolutely.
But I think they've wheeled that in a little bit,
Well, I mean, once you have a team of 12 show up, and
much.
so you get fresh people on the ice every single game, that is a bit of an unfair advantage.
And I mean, the amount of money that they had to pay to fly 12 kids from North Dakota to Boston.
And those were back in the days when you were lucky to have 5 people total on a college curling program.
Yeah.
I do know, I think it was at the St. John's Riverboat tournament. There was a team there of 8.
Okay.
And they just rotated through because they were there for a good time.
Sure.
Which I really thought was brilliant.
Sure. working our way back down in the fourth end, all across the game here.
Yep, I'm just sort of collecting in scores. Over on sheet D, score is 3-1. Great expectations over hard cheeses. Sheet C, we have 4-1 Squeak hard over Legendairy. On sheet B, JR throwing his first one, which is 3-1. And on sheet A, we have 5-0 Brilliant Sweepers versus Build Go Cheese.
And there's just not a lot going on here on sheet
Oh
B.
my gosh, a double.
A double, nicely done. And even better, the shooter hangs around in the edge in a position where it's got some jam protection, although I think that red stone's probably too far back. I think actually if the yellow jammed on
here's the overhead.
Yeah, no, okay, that's not actually effective.
That's not going to help.
But it is a stone in the house, so if Bill were to, okay, Bill has the hammer, but if Bill were to mess this up,
I think he's going to try and sit up against it, I think is the call.
Okay, I don't mind that.
I mean, because if you split the house, you basically give them something else to hit or sit up against, and then they could sit too.
Right. Right now, if I'm Bill Engman, I might be considering blanking this end and trying again next end.
Oh, he's asking Ken to move the broom a little bit.
Because I don't see a straightforward way for Bill to get 2 out of this.
No, JR would have to miss.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
JR doesn't miss very often.
No, although this is a miss candidate. It's out here on the edge of the sheet.
Yeah, an unswept area.
Yeah, although this stone has already slid wide.
Oh,
and
no,
is
no, no.
sliding
Stop.
wider. I think it's just going to tap and roll, yeah.
And it's still biting.
And I believe it's still biting. Yes, it is still biting. So now JR very definitely splits the house. And Bill will be forced to just take his medicine, take a draw for 1.
Looks
or
like
does JR?
I think JR is actually going to draw for the button.
It's fine. I mean, that's still splitting the house. He's not putting
it's
the stone
far enough away.
Yeah, he's not putting the stone in some place where a double is a thing. So
right.
a blank is not going to happen. And so Bill Engman's going to be forced to take his medicine, take his 1.
And sometimes that's, well, I mean, something Eric Clausen always says is you got to look at, what's an acceptable outcome, what can you live with, and what you can't live with. What's your ideal, what's acceptable, what can't you live with.
Exactly.
And giving up 2 is something you can't live with, but, taking your 1 is something you can live with.
Yeah. Is this going to get there?
I don't know. It's awfully slow. Yeah, there it goes. It's gonna sit right at the 12.
Okay. Yep.
Another biter.
So yeah, I mean, fundamentally, Bill's. I mean, he's got a draw. He's got an 11-foot diameter range.
Oh yeah, huge scoring opportunity. I mean, frankly, all he has to do is sit full 12, and he scored.
Not even a full 12. A solid bite of the 12 is enough.
Yeah, half the stone,
yeah.
and we'll do it.
So all he's got to do is get there. Which, I hate to say it, but sometimes that's the scariest shot in curling.
Oh yeah.
All you got to do is hit the house. Okay.
No pressure.
No pressure. Just hit the house.
You've got a huge 12-foot diameter surface. Yep, sure, I can hit that. Nope.
I am not yet fully convinced this stone's
No,
got the mustard.
it is really light. Oh no, there it goes.
It's gliding well.
Get off of it.
Nah, they're gonna hurt it.
Oh, I guess that's true. It is really slow. Yep. All right, so Bill gets his 1.
Bill draws his 1.
Which brings him up to 2 points.
Yep, 3-2.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna go to all houses so that we can kind of check in.
Welcome to all houses.
Oh my gosh, look at that. On sheet D, Great Expectations sitting right on the button, but not for long.
Not for long. Hope you enjoyed that 5 seconds of fame, Mr. Red Rock, because although it did not get taken out.
I hope Ben called for the box.
So actually, Great Expectations actually.
Oh, beautiful tap back on sheet A by Brilliant Sweepers.
Yeah. Got some
Oh,
solid.
good sweep by Camille, and now they're sitting 3.
Yep. There is some solid curling going on over there on sheet A. And all these games are actually going for none of them are what I would call out of hand.
No.
The,
Well,
Squeak Hard's Legendairy game could be starting to think about getting out of hand, depending on how the last few. Oh, this is still half.
Well,
an
this is the
There's still
first
half an end.
Vice's stone.
Okay, so still half an end. Okay.
Yeah, he could easily start to break some of that up in the back.
This is Legendairy Vice. Is that Ricky or is that Shaun?
Ricky?
That's Ricky you just threw?
It's Ricky that just threw.
Okay, so Ricky Moore is a scuba diver. He has scuba dived.
No
in Ireland.
way.
Apparently it was ridiculously cold. It was 39-degree water.
Oh my gosh.
Although he does say it tasted good.
I hope he's got a dry suit for that kind of.
I am going to assume so. On the other hand, though, it probably means he is well adjusted for conditions in the ice shed as they exist currently.
And he is a stick curler, similar
Yes.
to yourself.
Yes.
So for stick curling,
Yep.
do your hit strategies vary at all?
So for most stick curlers, yes, because it is very easy to stick curl poorly.
Okay.
It's one of those things, but it's very difficult to learn. If you do it for years and years and years and get really good at it, it can be essentially indistinguishable from a normal delivery.
Right.
But
Like your delivery is very smooth and consistent
and I've been doing it for
years and years.
13
and
years now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope it is. But some of the problems that newer stick curlers have is basically you effectively got a 5-foot lever arm
Oh, okay.
between your hand and the stone.
All right.
So it is really easy to accidentally push,
Sure.
particularly on a hit weight.
Oh,
Because
yeah, because you want to get the
you
speed.
you have to resist. Yeah, you have to resist the urge to push because the whole physics thing. Your 5-foot lever arm through the stone. You wanted it to go here. You're going to go out here instead because you push this way.
Oh, yeah.
Once you're out here at hit weight, it never comes back, and it's that's the tricky part. Now I find it interesting. He has a device. He has his push stick on the backside of his broom.
Yes.
Which is convenient in that you only have to maneuver one thing, so that's nice. But
I've seen a couple other people in our club with the push device on the back end of their broom, and that does seem much more convenient than trying to handle 2 sticks.
the only issue that I would have with it is when you're holding your broom to deliver, then you've got your actual pad
Oh, in the way a little?
in the way a little bit, because like at least now this is a style thing, but what I like to do is I like to have the arm of my broom in my hand, down my arm. It helps maintain
Oh.
it. So having the pad in the way would get in the way of that.
That is interesting, and that would be
It's an
an
alignment thing.
issue.
Yeah, but yeah. So it actually, I mean, it looks to me actually like he's fighting with his pad a little bit right now as he's getting set up in the hack, getting his alignment square.
I mean, he's been pretty dead on with his targeting. But who knows? As he sort of gains experience, because I think he's one of the under 5s on that team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's currently stick curling because he's got a temporary thing, or if
that could be.
You know, if that's a situation that he's going to be contending with for the rest of his curling career. I don't know. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know him all that well.
Right. Well, and it's one of those things where eventually your knees give out.
Yeah.
And stick curling is where it's at for
Yep,
you.
that is my problem. I had a very lovely slide delivery in 1996.
Yeah, and the knees just. And I do know we've had a couple of friends of mine have had knee surgeries and whatnot, and they're
Yep.
just like, you know, doing a slide is not going to happen for them at this point.
Or are there's people, like my current problem. Technically, I could do a slide delivery. I could not get up off the ice after. So that's...
Well, and that's a problem for a lot of people as they age. It's like getting down is not the issue.
Yeah, down's easy. Gravity helps down. Down's easy.
Getting back up is the issue. Howard Griffin taught me how to stick curl.
Yeah, actually, he was the one who officially taught me.
Is he?
Yes.
I tell you, he is a font of information. Actually, if you Google Howard Griffin, you know what comes up for him?
I have no clue.
His plans for a curling stabilizer, to build your own curling stabilizer. And then, other curling stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what comes up for Howard.
How's Howard doing? I haven't talked to him yet.
I have only seen him once this season, and he looked good.
Good.
He looked pretty great. I think he was doing Wednesday mornings.
Sure.
But he was actually the first skip that Henrik had for Pizza League.
Okay. Yeah.
He was super nice.
He was always one of the good guys. Still is.
He fixed. I saw him fix somebody's slide once in 2 minutes.
Sure.
Because he was like, your foot in your hack needs to be half an inch over to the left, and your leg will stop drifting out. And the guy moved his leg
half an inch to the left.
Half an inch, and it
stopped drifting out.
Yep. He perfect, beautiful straight slide after that. And that is, a billion years of experience being able to just look at somebody and go, oh, well, your foot is in the wrong spot.
I don't even know how many years Howard has curled.
I think a billion, officially.
I mean, the club's only been around for 60, so that seems unlikely that he makes a billion, but you could tell me 58 or so, and I'd believe you.
All right. Well, because I thought, didn't he start curling up in Ardsley when he was like a junior? Who was it? Somebody from our club curled up at Ardsley for juniors, or maybe it was the curling club, and they go back every year for one Spiel there, and they play with their old junior team.
Okay.
It's hilarious. I wish I could remember who that is.
That is the first I've heard that story.
I think Mark is the one who told me, and so if Mark is online, if you could comment about who that is, because I think that's just such a cool thing.
Sure. And that is yet another competitive event that exists. There is the senior championships.
Yes.
For players who are over the age of 50.
Yep. Well, and what's hilarious is that GNCC and USA Curling have different birth dates for when you qualify. So Mark qualifies for GNCC, but he doesn't qualify for USA Curling.
This year.
Next year he'll qualify for both. But
yeah, that actually caused that birth dates are a little sensitive at the moment.
Really?
One of the players who was going to be on our women's juniors team for Worlds last year, they discovered on the 3 days before Worlds that she was ineligible because she was born on
like the 6th or something, right?
No, she was born on the cutoff date was listed as August 1st.
Oh, okay.
And her birthday was August 1st.
Oh.
So by USCA's definition, okay, she made it.
Yeah.
By WCF's definition, no, she's too old.
Really?
Yes.
That is heartbreaking.
Yes, and it really was. And it was.
Oh.
That's because all of that drama is one of the reasons that our junior women's team was in the B division this year.
Oh, interesting.
Because that all their prep, they had done all their prep. I mean, they were ready to go to Finland. I don't remember exactly where they were going.
I'm trying to remember too, but yeah, it was one of the Nordic countries.
Yeah. And all of a sudden they had to find a 4th.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, they had a 5th, so I think they brought the 4th up and found a 5th. But
right.
All this kind of thing.
That's just heartbreaking.
As a result, though, they had a horrible tournament. I mean, I can't blame them.
No, because they're playing with basically playing with a spare.
Yeah.
Even if it is their 5th.
And all of their plans were just shot to heck.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it does unsettle you mentally.
Right.
You go into it with a completely different mindset. Oh, that's just terrible.
Yeah. So I believe that they have gone through and they've regulated, rectified, whatever.
Oh, did they?
But
it's too late for them now.
Yeah, because she was 21 or 21 years and a day, depending on how you ask, who you ask.
21 years and an hour.
Yeah.
Oh. You know, that is what makes it weird about all of these different conferences, is that they all have different cutoff dates and rules and ways of looking, interpreting the policies.
Right, and and I get that you have to have a cutoff.
Yes, you do have to have a cutoff.
Okay. Oh, that's a nice little. It's rolling a little further than they might have wanted it to.
Simon asking for a guard. JR saying, I don't know, I might want to put one over there in the 4-foot red. Talking about if red hits us here, it goes here.
Yeah, this is definitely the chess part of the.
Definitely. And while they do that, I'm going to flip to all houses so that we can kind of see what's going on.
Wow, there is a mess on sheet C.
Yeah, that's a lot of granite. It's a whole quarry full of granite.
There are 12 stones in play at the moment, and they're getting ready to throw. I think yellow's getting ready to throw their hammer. Brian Daubach's in the house, getting ready to throw his hammer down 4-1. He is currently sitting second. And that's an open question. Red's at least got one for sure. Red might have a second. It's questionable.
I'm going to give Brilliant Sweepers 1 point so that I get the correct house.
Okay. All right. Brian Stone. Tappy, tap, tap, tap. No effect. Red scores 1 on C. Squeak Hard goes up 5.
All right, so over on sheet D, yellow scored something. I'm going to give them 1 so I can also get the right house for them.
Squeak Hard took 1 on C.
Squeak Hard took 1. All of that granted for 1 point.
And again, I think Brian tried to what could happen.
Oh, they're sweeping hard on sheet B.
They got past they wanted to not tickle their own and got away with it. But they are exposed. Yeah, they're really exposed. Double is not out of the question.
No.
Is this his hammer? He doesn't have the hammer. Hello.
No. Bill does not have hammer. JR has hammer.
Yeah. So this is Cheese Curl's final stone of the end. William Engman, longtime PCC curler. Of course, all these guys are PCC curlers. It's an internal monster though. Stone.
And he's also, I think, leading up the ice team for this Sunday morning.
He does a lot of
I think
Sunday.
he's the coordinator, right?
Ooh, this feels kind of wide. I do not. This might be wide of everything.
Oh
frankly.
no! Oh no!
This might chip out his own. Actually, okay, no. It does at least.
Okay.
It does at least bop the back one. Bop the back one.
So he's put JR to 1 right now, but JR does have hammer and JR.
Yeah, and a 7'5" target zone for to get his stone into to score a second with this final drop. All he really needs is full white. Stone's on the way. JR's typical controlled delivery. Trying to think if I've ever seen JR use control on a delivery. I don't think I have. It's on its way. feels a
Go,
little
go, go.
light.
It is light. It's
Sweepers are working it, but I don't think
it's gonna
they
make
can put
it.
enough. Yeah, I don't think they can put enough calories in the ice. Nope.
I mean, that's a great guard if that's what they needed.
Sure. Unfortunately,
but that's not exactly.
Guards with the hammer are not usually indicated. They are usually contraindicated, but he does take one. So
he does
goes
take
up
one.
4-2 as we go into the 6th end.
And I'm still waiting for actual real scores on A and D to be posted.
This might be a case where they don't want you to.
So we'll see. We'll see what the real scores are when they get it up there. So So anybody watching, please know that the scores on A and D are not necessarily.
The
they're
term is
unofficial. They're unofficial. They're tentative scores. But it's just so I can get house views. Oh, Ben calling for Peel of that really high guard over on sheet D.
Okay, JR has the first stone at the end, half into the 4-foot. Simon's a little too excited about getting the box.
JR yelling at him hard, Simon.
I think we've loosened the box stand. It used to be it had to be full 4-foot.
Yeah, I think we loosened it up a little bit.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Well, and you don't get the whole box. You get to draw a prize. The person who threw the shot gets to draw a prize from the box. And in the box includes some cheese items and also cat treats.
I mean, my cat would probably be appreciative.
Yeah, my cat would love it. And then this afternoon, we're going to have a few skills games.
I've heard about that.
Yep, they're going to be
I've heard
fun.
I've heard a draw to the button and then a hot shots kind of thing.
Yeah, a hot shots thing. Can the camera show the other lanes? Bill, yep, I'm trying to show other lanes and stuff. Let me do all the sheets right now. But we are featuring sheet B for the most part, and then I am showing other, during the slow times on sheet B, I'm opening it up to all the sheets and all the houses so that we can see them.
Is there a particular one you're interested in?
Yeah,
Bill,
is there a
in which case
game
we
that you'd
can
like
try
us
to keep you up to date a little bit better?
Yep. And, I mean, if it's on sheet D or A, we'll try our best, but they have not hung scores yet. And they're almost done with the 5th end. So the scores on A and D are unofficial.
There are best guesses.
Sheet C, it looks like red was 1 in the 5th. No, 1 in the 4th.
Yeah, they're in the 5th now.
They are in the 5th now. Okay. So 5 and 1. Tanya asking for a takeout of the yellow in the 8-foot, and she gets it. And does the shooter stick around? Yes.
Cheese Curl's lead stone just didn't quite get enough of the hit, so it curled on through. Bill said something to say thanks.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, we'll do it again. No problem, Bill.
Yep, we're trying.
It is literally what we are here for.
And then over on sheet A, build a goat cheese in a kind of a nice opportunity, sitting 2nd and 3rd. And Brilliant Sweepers has
excessive.
1. They could, so Brilliant is up for their last skip stone. So they're going to try and probably draw another one in and make Build the Goat Cheese have to do a double takeout in order to score. But if they do make a double takeout, they would score 3, which would be fantastic.
Which would get them back in the game.
Absolutely. Over on sheet D, Katie holding broom for her Vice's 2nd shot. And they are currently sitting 1. And great expectations with their redstone right on top of that, which
Cheese
makes it
curl
real
stone
hard.
coming down.
Oh,
and
field goal.
it split the uprights.
And unfortunately in curling, that is not worth 3 points.
They do not score 3. At least not in this one.
No. Maybe we do have a lovely spiel, the hangover spiel, where we change the rules of curling.
Just a wee bit.
Just occasionally. So in one of those, that might count for 3 points. Okay, on sheet C, Brian Dauernheim faced with 5 in the house.
Yes.
What do you do, Alan?
Besides
cry.
I start thinking about what I'm drinking. Especially if I'm down 5-1 in the 5th.
Yeah.
Looked like what Brian called, however, is to kind of try to chip off the red that's on the left side of the 4-foot from our point of view. And he's hoping that he's going to roll over behind, either behind the one on the center, or in a perfect world, he rolls all the way over to.
Oh, it's over curling.
Or alternatively,
though.
he could over curl and just chip that one even better in.
Heartbreaking.
That's also an option, not really the one he wanted. Although that actually provides him an escape.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Assuming assuming that Tanya doesn't mess this up, which it kind of looks like she's thinking about doing, and I don't blame her. That is kind of her job. Where all those stones are right now would be fairly trivial for Brian to tap either of those 2 yellows at the top of the house up to a place where they're frozen to that 2-pack of reds in the back of the 4-foot. And he may or may not get shot out of it, but it at least cuts the 5 down to a 1 or 2.
So over on A, Bill the Goat didn't quite get it, but I can't tell if yellow is too.
Taking a look.
Well, it seemed to be obvious to them, and so they're kicking. So brilliant sweepers, at least 1, if not 2, and I'll wait to see if they hang the score.
Hanging the 5th end scores here momentarily, or not.
Or not. They could not do that.
Now, ironically, the folks who should be doing that are on my Thursday team, and they're usually pretty good at it on Thursdays. So
yeah.
You would think that the Johnsons would be better at this.
I'm going to give them 1 point for now, and then I will update that later.
Sure.
But that gives them at least 7-0
Yeah.
on sheet A. Sheet D, they still have not hung the 4th end score. So we'll see. All right. So Brian Dauernheim looks like he's calling for what you were saying. Just called hard.
So actually, he's going after that red on the
side
side to roll over to the other 2, which is also enough, but he's outside it. He's going to chip that out.
Nose.
He's
Oh,
gonna lose.
little
Actually,
rolled kind of the wrong.
Didn't lose his shooter, so actually that, I mean, right now he's got it cut down to 2.
I mean, I don't hate it. And Tanya's got to decide if she's just okay with 3 or if she's going to go at. But she's not even looking at it. She's just going to draw into the 4-foot.
She also knows she doesn't have the hammer, so.
Right. So if you don't have the hammer in this situation, you don't really care about taking out that yellow stone. You just want to pack them into the 4-foot?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Basically, when you don't have the hammer, your goal is always to get the other team to take no more than 1.
Okay.
And right now, Tanya's in a very good situation to force Brian to take no more than 1.
Right.
So I kind of expect that this is either a defensive takeout of that yellow stone, which would be very defensive. And
no, they're going to draw. They're going to draw into the top of the 4.
The draw of the top 4 makes more sense in my opinion. Just based on where the broom was, I wasn't 100%.
She wasn't. Yeah, Tanya didn't even look at that yellow stone. All she was doing was looking at 4-foot positioning.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah, there's a guard out there that's in reality not on the screen I'm looking at. So yeah. So this just wants to be nuzzle the top 4. You don't even actually have to be in the top 4. Just kind of be intimately familiar with the top 4 kind of thing.
Yeah. 6 degrees of separation with the top 4.
Not even. And yeah, something basically about like what actually.
Oh, a little heavy.
That's a little hefty.
Well, and
But
now there's
those
a nice
are
little
not,
cup.
but they're not all going away.
No.
So Brian has a fairly straightforward, I can get one.
Yeah.
What he does not have is a straightforward, I can get more than one. He always got
Well,
two
and
stones
this
to
is
play with.
this is his first skip
So
stone.
he's got an option then. What he could conceivably do, if he's got a high wattage stone in his arsenal, and I know he does.
Oh yes.
Is promote the outer of those two yellow stones, the one that's it's not quite in the house, more or less straight back at high speed. At least two of those reds go.
Yeah.
Maybe all three. It's hard to say with the anglage that I've got going here, but with enough speed and based on that broom, I feel like that's what he's got in mind. Expect some granite to move here.
Yeah, definitely. Over on sheet A, Allison asking for a takeout of the yellow on the far, from your view, left-hand side, from our view, right-hand side.
She's not going to get it. No, she drew in.
No, it looks like it's going to...
She drew in.
She drew. No, she wasn't at. Okay.
Not with that girl. Unless something went
She had
horribly
her
wrong.
broom close enough that it looked like a control weight ask, but no, she was asking for a draw-in.
All right, Brian's attempt to explode the situation is on its way. The sweepers are thinking about it. Okay, we have contact, and boof, boof,
wow.
Okay, only one actually went away.
And
two moved, and he lost the shooter.
He lost the shooter, but red is still only sitting two. So if I'm Tanya,
and this is Tanya's last stone of the end.
Throwing a top four to sit between that button and that yellow on the center line.
Pretty much about where Kristy just put her broom.
Yeah, exactly there.
Yeah.
That's where I would want it, so they can't tap back.
Yeah.
And it also makes the draw difficult.
Yeah, that probably locks in at least one and high probability of two.
Oh, I missed what the score was over on sheet D yet again.
They still haven't hung the fourth end. They're done with the fifth end, but they haven't hung the fourth end yet.
All right, come on. Who's their vice?
Do I need to create the little sheet that says hang your scores? Okay,
oh,
here
no,
comes
there
a
she
four.
goes. Okay,
so they got a one. Yellow got one in the second.
All right, I called that correctly.
And then red got one in the fifth.
All right.
So the current score appears to be 4-2.
Great. All right, and JR with his last skipstone on sheet B, our featured sheet. And then Kristy lined up for that draw, and Tanya gonna come in. All right. It's away, sweepers. Corinne on it lightly. All right, and harder. Simon calling hard. Here it comes.
They get past the top guard. Looks like
it
pretty good.
All right, off.
Right around,
Simon's looking for the box.
Oh, who boxed first? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, Katy Perry running for the box. Simon upset.
Now, Simon, watch your language. This is going out over the internet.
Nothing like fun competition.
It's a crisis. Okay.
So over on sheet C, I was distracted by the box situation. I didn't see what happened,
God,
but it looks like Tanya threw a guard. Did not make it, unless that guard was already there and she flashed the house. But all right, so you're Brian in this situation, Alan.
Brian.
What are we doing? Because I don't see a double being there.
I actually see a possibility of it.
It's a hard double.
So, yes, but with gearing, yeah, and that's what Brian's
and Allison running for the box.
Oh, my God. we got
All right.
a score on B. I think yellow scored something, possibly 2.
Well, we'll see what they.
2.
1,
1,
2,
3.
3. For
Apparently,
who?
Yeah, it would be. If it was 3, it was definitely yellow.
3 was yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, on sheet B. Okay, 3 for yellow.
Yeah.
Wow, cracking cheese grommet up 7-2.
Yes.
All right, and now here comes Brian Dauernheim with his hammer shot.
Yeah, so I think he's attempting
I
to do at the very least, hit and stick for 1, but if he can get both of those reds
think he's
moving for a
really-
second,
yeah.
he's
I think he's really hoping for. Well, he
kind
could.
of needs it at this point.
You know what? I'm gonna look at the.
Okay, he's past the top. He's past the high guard.
I'm gonna do 30% house.
Got that. Nope,
Oh.
1.
What is that? Sheet C. Oh yeah. So he
He got 1.
He
Yeah,
got-
actually, he held 1. Squeak hard got 1.
Squeak hard got 1. He held him to 1. Okay. Oh, I thought he had it for sure.
The high guard made that a little bit harder because he couldn't get in there with enough speed to.
Okay.
You can't curl enough fast enough.
All right. Let me go to all houses, and we're gonna see what our situations are. All right. Sheet A. Brilliant sweepers. Really, like, man.
In control.
They're
of this
on
game.
it.
Yeah. In control of this game.
Some days you are just like you cannot throw a bad shot, and other days you cannot find the house with a map.
Some days you're the windshield. Some
So
days you're luck.
that is correct. Yeah, let me. Last Sunday for Pizza League, I could not find the house
Yep.
with a map and a compass. It was not good.
I had so many problems finding the house. I didn't make it home till Tuesday.
Oh, I like this though very much.
I
Oh,
liked
it
it
just
more before it
overcurled.
flashed. Yeah.
Yeah, just overcurled. Yep, and Allison gonna place a guard
Fourth
in
one
the
in
12.
there. Either a fourth, either a guard in the 12 or a fourth one in the.
Yeah, if she's a little heavy, it doesn't matter.
'Cause
Oh, she's reconsidering.
there is a certain power in having 168 pounds of granite in the forefront.
That is true.
I mean, I realize that the Navy folks do, like lift weights and all of that sort of thing. However,
I mean, I tell you, we played with 2 of them on Fridays, and they were excellent sweepers. They had a lot of power. Over on sheet D, Katie calling for a takeout of that stone that is on the button currently by Alexa. Sweepers are on it, holding for line. Oh, took out a guard, but
and
peeling a
then
guard is
popped
never.
out. And then popped out their own scoring
Popped
stone.
out. No, that was a bad result.
That
That's
was
too bad.
That was not what they wanted to do
No, not at
by
all.
any stretch of the imagination.
No, not one bit. Let's see. Sheet A.
They've got the guard action going, and
Yep.
that's pretty guardy.
Yep, about good 3 foot from the house.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No, not at all.
Oh, JR calling him on, says it looks late. And hard all the way. He wants it. He wants it resting right up against that red out of the 4 foot. And I like it a lot. Here's the house view. So yellow sitting 2. And Bill Engman looking at his options.
Ryan Dauernheim on C was hoping to chip out the stone in the 4 foot and just flashed past it by the slightest little bit.
That's tough, man.
Oh, and it looks like we have box claiming.
Oh. Simon won. Simon, I think, more excited about winning the box than he is about the score.
Cat treats. Take the cat treats.
Yes, get the
Take
cat
the cat
treats.
treats.
Oh, what did they choose? Did you see?
I did not.
Yep, JR asking for that to be evacuated.
I mean, sure, when you are ahead a bunch to not as many, now all of a sudden it becomes a matter of play the scoreboard.
Yep, yeah, keep the house clean. Don't give him anything to hide behind or nestle up against.
Yeah, you don't mind giving up a 1. Heck, you probably don't even mind giving up a 2. You just don't want to give up a big number.
Oh, yeah. Simon sweeping furiously. Energized by his box win. And a nice little nose straight back. And Bill's going to take it out. Control weight hit. And I think that's control up. I think that's a little faster than control weight.
Yeah, it's gonna.
And it's gonna
chip it and roll out. It looks like. And I'm concerned about is it gonna? No.
Oh no,
okay.
no tippy tappies.
It was almost pinball chaos.
I do like some pinball chaos.
I mean, someday I think I'm gonna name a curling team that.
I would be actually. That would be a fantastic name for a team. Pinball chaos.
Pinball chaos.
Think of the T-shirts. JR looks like he is just going to pack another one in there in the top of the 4.
I mean, sure.
Oh, top of the 8. Wants it more of the center.
He's trying to reduce Red's scoring area, which, again,
As you do.
as one does. And over on sheet C, the Bellefontaines swept.
Nice takeout.
Swept a nice little takeout to
Thrown by Conor Mulvey.
Yep. To make Brian Dauernheim start to think that this might not be his day.
No, I think Brian's going to look forward to having them buy him his drink.
I think that is distinctly a possibility.
I've played those games, and I just look at my other sweeper and say, I didn't bring my wallet anyway.
Okay, Brian's team's stone, the Legendairy stone, is on its way. It needs to cut quite a bit, or else
It
it's
is
gonna
not going to
slide
cut.
through. So, when you're behind by 5 points trying to make a comeback late in the game, there are some things that you should never do.
That is one of them.
Yeah, throw one of your second stones too hard through the house so it only just bites up at the back is definitely most of them.
And is it biting? Yes.
It's a biter.
It's a teeny tiny little biter.
It's a nibbler. Okay, and Simon's probably disappointed because I think he's being asked to draw.
Well, he won the box, though, so really nothing can get him down.
All right, we should have a 6th end score here in A.
And it looks like Red scored since they are in the hack first.
I feel like that is true. Suppose it could have been a blank, but
No, they were kicking stones out of the house.
were they?
So,
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't see. I just noticed that they were getting set for the 7th or 6th. 7th.
Oh, it is a little heavy. Bill Engman is going to sweep. Oh,
But it actually did a piece.
it did.
Yellow currently sitting 2.
How about that? Curling is funny that way.
Yeah, it's a silly game. But we love it anyways. Why?
And Bill,
not quit?
he's going to draw in, and he wants to sit sort of in front of the yellow stone that's in the back.
Yeah,
But I don't necessarily so. Why isn't he?
I don't love it.
Yeah, I don't love it either.
Now,
Oops.
admittedly, he's down 7-2 in the 7th, so he's got to try to put up a big number. Maybe that's why the only way he sees to a curly number.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't get 3 this end, he's basically done for.
And it's gonna just
It's gonna flash and roll through.
But he did cut them to 1. So that's okay.
He's got that going for him, which
Yep.
is nice.
Yep,
But,
definitely.
yeah.
All right, Simon holding the broom. All right, I'm going to throw all sheets. Oh my goodness, over on A, they hung the score.
Oh, dear.
That is unfortunate for Bill the Goat.
Yes.
That was a score of 4.
Navy may have beat Army in the big game earlier, but Navy is probably not beating the Brilliant Sweepers in this current game. It's not mathematically impossible yet, but it is kind of unlikely.
But, you know, at a certain point, you know, you get far enough behind, your mindset about the game has to change, and it has to go from, like, we're going to win this game to what can I learn?
Sure.
Like, what can I try? What do I want to practice?
Let's try to win the 8th end.
Right.
Or 7th end in this case.
And I know several people who they've been down by 5 or 6, and they've gone, you know what, we're just going to have a fun time. We're just going to enjoy ourselves. And suddenly they get a big end of 5 points, and they're back in it.
Sure. So unfortunately, in this case, an end of 5 points means
I
they're
know,
still down
it's
by
still,
6.
they're still
Coming
down
home,
by 6.
but you know.
But
progress.
this is a thing where it's like, well, what do you want to practice? You want to practice a draw? You want to practice
Right.
your hits?
Because I assume that's well, yeah, it's out on sheet A, so that was a B event game, so they lost their first game also.
They did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess that means there's a 50-50 chance they're my opponents in the next game. I wonder if
That
I'm them or if I'm up them.
is possible.
I don't know. I assume that they will tell me when they tell me.
Well, and Ben is over on sheet D, about to throw his last skips rock.
Here in the 6th.
They're in the 6th end, and they are currently sitting 1 for sure. I'm gonna do house
Now
view.
the question in my mind is that game going to be an 8-end game? It is 111 already.
It is 111 already. Oh my gosh! So they started at
12, 11:30.
no 11:30.
So the
Let's
hour
see.
55 cut would be 125.
Right.
So they basically
So
have
they've
to
already
curl
been
this-
playing, an hour
have
and
to-
40 minutes.
Yeah, they'd have to curl this. They'd have to curl the 7th end in 12 minutes.
Yeah, they
That seems unlikely.
our play time is an hour and 55 minutes, and once you hit an hour and 55 minutes, you finish the end that you're on. You do not play another end.
So I feel like
Right.
it's likely that is only going to be a 7-end game over on D,
Unless they shake early.
which is not likely given the situation that I saw.
No, red is only sitting 1. Yellow is solidly 2nd.
Right, and getting ready to throw their hammer. Yes.
Yes, getting ready to throw hammer.
So do they have anything to make more than 1 out of this?
Yeah, if
If they can get get in and get a tap. Sure.
Yeah, if they can get it and get it, tap it back. They only have to tap it back 1.5 feet.
Yeah, and that looks like that's the shot they're going for.
Yeah, and they're going to draw in on the, as we're looking at the screen, the left-hand side.
Yeah, from the left to the right. They're only expecting about 2.5 or so feet of curl on what would be essentially a back 12 tap. That's.
I don't know. I
feel like that's not enough curl, but maybe not. I don't know. I mean, they've been curling
Yeah.
for the past 2 hours on the sheet. I haven't, so.
Yeah, they're the ones who've been curling on it, so they fully they know how much curl their ice is giving them at this point.
And that chips off the top on C. Red is lying 3. Did Red score 3 or is Red just?
Brian has one more. Brian has hammers, one more rock.
Okay, so both
Tanya's
teams-
about to throw her
so
last.
both skips have 1 more. Okay.
Right.
this is not looking great for him either.
Over on sheet B, who do you think is shot? Is red shot? I can't tell.
My inner official says stick a measurement stick on it.
What does your outer official say?
It's certainly only one either way. There's no way that anybody's making two right
now. No. And JR is throwing his last.
Final.
Yeah, and then Cheese Curls has the hammer on this.
Right. So the most they're likely to get out of this is 2, which would put them down 3
Katie.
without coming
Katie.
home. Did Katie just flash?
No. That's rough.
Katie flashed.
But she was right. That wasn't going to have a lot of curl on it.
Yeah. Fair point.
Here comes JR Stone over on sheet
Red
B.
1, 5-2. Great expectations over hard cheeses.
So, Cheese Curls, an obvious takeout.
Roll in towards the middle. Certainly get 1. Take the measurement to see if you get a second.
Yep. Yepers.
And unfortunately, I mean, best case, they're down 3 without hammer coming home.
Well, they're gesturing to the yellow, so I think that Bill thinks that yellow might be sitting second shot right now. Because he doesn't seem too concerned. Well, I guess maybe he is a little.
I see what he might be considering. It's a Hail Mary, but
what is he thinking?
What you could conceivably do is if you get in here just right, you drive this red back enough to kick this yellow out here, and then your shooter's going to roll over here, and if it moves this enough, you could conceivably sit 3.
Ooh, that's like a Rachel Holman shot.
It's a Hail Mary. It is completely a Hail Mary.
Well, I am here for it. That's going to be awesome.
It's at the moment, given the game situation, it's waiting. Even that's only a 3, so now he's still down 2 without hammer coming home. So he's in a world of hurt either way. But
great.
Stone's on its way.
Sweepers on it hard. Sweeping for line. Sweeping for speed as well.
He's got not
quite
right.
Almost. All right, well, and now it's a measure.
Either
red
one,
Simon can
either red
Ken.
1 or yellow 1.
Measure.
Yep, and there's the
handshakes.
concession. There's the handshake. I think either the recognition that the 1 wasn't going to help, or they gave up the 1. Either way, we know the cracking cheese won. I'm not sure if it was an 8-3 or a 7-3 or an 8-2. And we also the game is also over on C, so Squeak Hard has beaten Legendairy.
Since it doesn't matter, I'm giving Cheese Curls the 1.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
And we also have, I believe, I thought I saw handshakes, but the skips are both skating down to the other end. Are we just cleaning up, or are we throwing the 7?
I don't know.
I thought I saw
Your guess is as good as mine.
I thought I saw handshakes, but
over on
I see
C?
Brian, and Brian's going over for the Brooks. Okay, so that was a concession on C.
Okay.
So Squeak Hard defeated Legendairy.
Okay.
I think Squeak Hard got 1, but I'm not 100% certain there.
I'm gonna give it to him anyway because it doesn't matter.
Yep. So now we are down to just our Sheet A and Sheet D games, and the Sheet A game is, realistically, our Sheet A game is over. It just doesn't know it yet.
Right. So I'm gonna go and focus on Sheet D.
Yeah.
That seems great. That seems like a good choice.
Yeah.
All right.
So
there's
give
the
us
hack.
a moment while the cameras get their act back together again.
That was yellow. Sweep. Guard.
And our game situation, it's 5-2. Great expectations over hard cheeses. Great expectations is the team in red, skipped by Ben Peters, who has a Instagram follower who happens to be Joel Retronaz, who is the #1 rated skip in the nation. Or, I'm sorry, the world, not the nation. So, yeah.
Well, hello, if you're watching. Come visit. It would be great.
It could happen.
We're fun people.
And then the hard cheeses is Katie Schmidt's team, who, when this game is over, she gets to go home and tend to her tea herbal garden.
She is, yeah, like, that just blows my mind. I love it.
man, you're waking.
Oops, they chipped theirs out the back.
Out their own.
That was unfortunate.
That is a suboptimal result.
Suboptimal. Katie, gonna put up that guard.
Yeah, that's an unsurprising choice. I mean, she is kind of in a situation down 3 in the 7th. Currently with hammer. She wants
Alexa.
to try to put a couple up this end.
Sweepers on it directionally.
Yeah. Also sweeping, also moving it pretty hard.
All right, you can see the overhead.
Feels like.
Yeah, they're going to get a really nice guard out of this.
It's actually going to be a scoring guard. I mean, that is primarily a guard, but it is a guard that is currently in the top 12, so therefore would be a point if this was the end of the end, but it's not.
And Ben asking for it to be peeled immediately, if not sooner.
If not sooner. How quickly can you get rid of this stone?
Katie Perry?
Probably about 18 seconds.
No, Kyle.
I think it's Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle with a bullet down the ice.
Yeah. Apologies in advance for the frequent camera flashes. D is not a we don't have great camera focus on that.
I'm trying not to make it too nauseating for people, so.
Peel was successful.
And Katie asking for put it up again.
Sure.
Another guard, another scoring guard would be great.
Guard.
Thank you.
Because that's how you play these games. You keep bouncing that back and forth, and you hope that eventually somebody misses. Because Katie realistically needs to score 2 here.
Yeah, she does.
If she only scores 1, then she needs to steal 2 next end. Actually, no,
and
they're not going to get a next end, are they?
No, they're out of time.
So really, they need to get 3 this end.
Right. Yep, asking for them to sweep hard, sweep hard, sweep hard, sweep hard, sweep hard. Oh, Navy, it looks like they've scored a point.
Navy has scored 1, we think.
Yes, Navy scored 1, and I think that they are going to be shaking hands. Or are they going to throw it down?
I mean.
Nope, handshakes.
Handshakes.
For Navy.
That's game. All right, so.
11-1?
11-1 is our final.
But you know what? Scoring that point,
1.
That is amazing.
So the Breland sweepers continue on in the B, and the
Bill the Goat Cheese goes to the
C.
Are you going to be playing Bill the Goat?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I play Bill the Goat or if I play the loser of the game over on D. I play one of those two. I'm not sure which one.
But that will be
next at 5:30.
Next at 5:30, because in the afternoon we're doing
the challenge skills.
Yes.
I don't know that we're webcasting that though.
We are likely not webcasting it because I
don't see any reason to webcast it.
No, I won't be here, so.
Well, okay.
So it doesn't matter. I'm gonna take my kid home so he can rest before he has to come back for his next game. Hey, Peanut. My child who's standing over my shoulder eating eggs.
I don't think those are eggs. I think that's pie.
It is cookie.
Oh, even better.
Beautiful shot.
Well executed, nicely thrown over there. Currently lying 2.
Yeah, beautiful, well done.
So the only problem is that they need 3, which is a problem, don't get me wrong.
Which is a problem, but it's not insurmountable. I mean, Katie hasn't even gotten to her stones yet.
Right.
And Ben asking for hopefully a double.
Ben
it looked like.
Ben is kind of in a mode right now where he's like, okay, we can let him have 2. We cannot let him have 3, so let's at least get 1 of these gone. If Ben's team gets rid of 1 stone per stone, they win. Stone is on its way. A little sweep going on. Looks like it's going to get the back one.
Yeah, I like that.
And
it's going to stick around.
It's going to just barely stick around in the 12. Katie going again, saying, all right, give me something high.
Do it again.
A little shorter this time appears to be what Katie's asking for.
Yep, top 4.
Actually, she put top 12 as a broom.
Oh, did she put top
Yeah.
12? Oh, okay. All right, and here it comes. It's going to be shorter. It's going to barely bite, I think. Oh, no, a solid biter. Excellent. Yellow's still sitting only 1, which Ben is pleased about.
But that second yellow is tappable, raisable, whatever, to be a second, which is why Ben's like, all right, let's deal with this now.
Well, it almost looked like he was calling for a double.
And it did. I mean, frankly, if he pulls that off, it's game over.
Yeah.
Because Katie's only got 2 stones left. Does Katie even have 2 stones left? Yes, Katie has 2 stones left. So
yeah, it'll be her first skip stone.
She needs to score one of these 2 and both of the others. Because that once the one guard she has is not really in a position that's raisable to be a point. So she's basically got 4 usable stones to score 3 points. And Ben has 2 opportunities to get rid of.
Ben coming rapidly peel weight.
So there goes 1 and
oh,
2.
Beautiful shot. Go, go, go.
Yep, and that is ball game.
That
Technically, Katie does not have to concede. She
can play.
She has enough material to get 3. And actually,
yeah, I would keep going.
I don't know what their official cut time is. I don't know if they're.
Yeah, they cannot play another end after this. They are done.
Right.
So 125 was
I believe
the
125.
cut time. So, yeah, they can finish this end, but they can't start an 8.
I don't know if they started exactly on time or if they started a couple minutes late.
No, they started exactly on time.
Okay.
The ones on A and B started late.
Okay, so this is D's last end.
Yep.
So, yeah, so actually Katie can't win.
Yeah, she's but, you know,
Yeah, no,
this is a fun spiel.
I am not saying she needs to get off the ice. I'm just saying, realistically, I don't see there is no path forward, unfortunately.
Well, and there's no draw immediately after this, forcing her time-wise to do ice or anything. So she may as well use this as a practice time to practice these shots.
Yep. Take the throw. This feels, unfortunately, like it's light.
Yeah. Well,
no,
it's going to get in. It's going to bite. Oh, no.
Not quite.
So close.
Yep.
So close. So Ben's going to...
that would be theoretically splittable to get 2.
Yep, Ben's going to take that out.
Ben endeavors to make that a non-thing. And then Katie will just be throwing her hammer.
Yep.
Put a hammer on the button just to say, hey, I put a hammer on the button. And shake hands and move on.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if she does choose to do that or if she chooses to shake. For me, it always depends on how cold I am on the ice.
Fair. And it is very cold out there today.
It is very
exceptionally cold.
And Ben
That's definitely peeling it.
Peel up. That is parking lot weight.
Well, if you're going to peel.
Yeah. Do it with some purpose.
And, looks like she's calling the draw.
Ben does the same thing that my oldest son, Evan, does, where if he really likes the shot, he stays down in his slide for longer and watches it go.
Whereas if it's a problem, then the pop-up
you pop right up.
Like a rabbit, yeah.
All right, Katie going to ask...
For the draw for 1. Yep.
And this is a great time to practice that draw weight.
Sure, especially since the skills competition coming up shortly. One of them is, in fact, a draw shot. So
that is true.
This is essentially a practice shot for her. If she's planning on playing the skills, which I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me. Katie's always up for a game.
Sure. hefty.
It's a little heavy. Yeah, sweeper's off it. Oh no, it's going to sail right through.
Yep.
And Ben's going to score 1 point. Great expectations.
Win
Scoring 1 point
7-6-2.
and handshakes.
Yep. All right, so that's our draw. And we do not have another one coming up immediately. We'll be back at 5:30, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's correct.
For the first elimination games.
Yep, 5:30.
And
Bo just gave me the thumbs up on that.
Cool. All right, so until then, talk to you later.
Yeah, have
Thank you,
fun,
everybody.
everybody.